This man is dropping truth bombs. Take a listen.
I mean, doesn't the Quran say that men have authority over women?
Well, don't they? I mean, according to your own narrative, men have been running the show. The feminists are asking for their so-called rights from who exactly? Okay, if you didn't have what you call patriarchy, then what you would have is a hell on earth for women. Because clearly, women do not have the power to coerce men, to force men, to make men deal with them this way or that way. If you're out somewhere and a man starts to chat you up and you don't want to be chatted up, what do? You tell him, I have a boyfriend, I'm married, and he goes away. You have to conjure up an imaginary man to get him to back off, because 9 times out of 10, only a man can keep another man in check, because men are inherently more dangerous than women.
Now, the important thing about what he just said, which is a world-known fact, everyone knows that men are more dangerous than women. And the example he gave is 100% correct. Whenever a situation arises where a woman doesn't want to be bothered by a man, the first excuse they're going to give you is, I have a boyfriend, because of the reasons he just stated. Now, the thing is, all women know this. So why would you try to argue against that? And why would you try to refute anything that he said up to this point? You're so immersed in the idea of independence that you would keep on fighting against what he's saying. It's idiotic. It just doesn't make sense.
Instead of patriarchy, replace that word with bodyguard. What makes more sense? For you to be my bodyguard or for me to be your bodyguard? Who do you think is more capable of protecting who? From who? If men didn't protect women, who would? Why, men would do whatever they wanted. And isn't your bodyguard responsible for you? Shouldn't you listen to him if he says, for example, don't go here, don't go there, or let's take this route instead of that route because it's safer? Isn't that authority?
Yeah.
But he's doing it for you. Would you feel resentment about that authority? That's irrational.
It's exactly like he just said. It's irrational. And it's really one reason that men get annoyed with women saying they want independence and all that. One, because we both know, men and women, we both know that you can't handle situations on your own. Whenever something happens, men are the first who are called. You don't call for a woman when there's a serious situation going on. And if men really did let you go independent, women don't have any idea. They don't realize just how bad it would be for them. So many things would happen to women if men just let other men run loose. It's not even funny. It's actually scary to think about. That's how scary that thought is. But somehow women are finding a way to fight against men, or what they call the patriarchy. For what reason? Women just can't. They wouldn't be able to handle a society where men weren't keeping other men in check. That's why it's irrational. It's idiotic. It makes no sense.
Look, you cannot dismiss the importance of physicality, human physicality. We're physical beings. Technology does not level the field the way you think it does. And if you were walking in the street by yourself late at night and you see a man coming towards you, which one of the two of you is more likely to be afraid? Who's going to be scared of who? But see, you in the West have confused this. The feminists have confused this. The power imbalance. That literal physical power imbalance. That imbalance in the ability to coerce and exert force and to be violent. It's just a fact and a reality of the power imbalance between men and women. But your culture is in love with power. It's in love with force. It's in love with violence. So to you, whoever has the greater capacity for violence, whoever has the greater capacity for being dangerous, then that person is better. The one who can exert his will is better. Whoever has the power to force people to do something is better. And whoever is weaker is less. It's because you admire power so much, and you admire force, and you admire the ability to coerce, that you find yourself resenting that men have authority over women, or the idea, the concept of men having authority over women, because you think it's unfair. You think that women are being deprived. But remove that authority and see how deprived you'll be. Remove that authority and you will be in danger. You will be deprived of your safety.
Now, and there's something important that he said and that he spoke about was the idea that women have that it's unfair and that it's not, women don't have any power. It makes absolutely no sense why you would be worrying about that, because the authority and power that you claim men have, it keeps you safe. If men didn't do what they did, your lives would not be the same at all. You wouldn't see the world that you do, and the world would not be the same, especially over here in the West. I don't know why women have suddenly, out of nowhere, taken up the idea that it's unfair for men to have power. Women, for thousands of years, have not had a problem with men having the power and protecting them. No, they've gratefully accepted it. And all of a sudden now it's different. It just doesn't make sense. And it's annoying because men, on the other hand, a man's mindset is completely different from a woman's. A man isn't worried about a power struggle with women. No, they're worried about getting the job done and keeping society going. So the power, it's not even a thought. Men don't even consider that. Only women are thinking about these things. It just doesn't make sense. You got to move on. You got to have your mind in a better place, because men are trying to keep society on while women are worried about usurping authority over the man.
You'll be deprived of your security, your freedom, and maybe your life. You invent a concept, this concept of equality, and treat it as sacred, and you believe in it religiously, with religious devotion, and you demand that everyone believes in it, and no one can dare doubt the reality and the holy truth of the concept of equality, even though all evidence that you are exposed to on a daily basis disproves that concept. So you'll make fun of us and you'll look down on us and you'll insult our intelligence for believing in something that you say we don't have any proof for. Meanwhile, you're believing in something for which all of the proof that exists disproves it. You see how incoherent your thinking process is?
The way he ended that was just beautiful, because it's like I just said, men's minds are not on this low level of whatever women are thinking. Women are thinking about usurping authority over the man, while men are keeping society going. Women don't understand just how difficult and how dangerous society would be if men didn't do what they do. And you don't have any idea how scared you would be without men in the positions that they have. It just doesn't, it doesn't click. Women's minds don't think the way that a man's does. In fact, they're so far away from it that it's embarrassing. It's like he just said, your thought process, it just doesn't make no sense. Why are you thinking about something that, like he said, it gets disproven on a daily basis? There's no aspect that you could point to in life where your point about women can be independent and they need equality and authority, there's nowhere you can point to where that is relevant and where that makes sense, because everything that runs in this world is run by men. So it doesn't make sense how a woman would be able to go in there and just step in and take authority and it would work. No, it's never worked. It's never happened. And women in history didn't want it to happen, because that would change life. That would make life difficult in way too many ways. And they were smart enough to say, look, let's just let men handle this and we're going to do our job. But not the modern woman today. They want to usurp authority and have power. And that's where their thought process is.